Hello, everybody.
Hey y'all.
Welcome back to Bitch and Bout
Bitchin'
Balls.
balls. 3B. 3B.
And we're episode 5 now? 5?
Mm, lucky number 5.
Ooh, look at us. Look at us.
Yay.
Well, today's an exciting day because we're going to talk about flags on the play.
All those green, yellow, red, bad flags. Good flags.
All types of flags,
Yeah.
whether it's dating or football.
Flag on the play.
We're going to go ahead and dive into that a little bit. But before we get into that, we're both super excited. I'm sure you're even more excited that basketball season is back on the schedule.
Yes, yes, yes. One of my favorite sports. This is my time to shine, y'all. I'm so ready.
So that's starting.
Yes.
So that's kind of cool now because it's like now there's like even today there's like football on and then there's also basketball on. So you're like, ooh, you got to make sure you have like all the screens. Honestly, I'm considering purchasing another television just so I can make sure I can watch all the games at once.
Just get a different streaming app where you can get all of them, even though you won't be able to hear everything, but you can see all of it.
Yeah.
I gotta get my direct TV stream back so I can look at multiples. So
well, YouTube TV got rid of ABC and ESPN and stuff. So like now I can't do the 4-game thing anymore. So that's why I'm just deciding. I'm thinking of what to do, but I still made sure to purchase what I could so I could watch all the games so that I don't have that void.
Yep.
But yeah, so super exciting times because we'll start getting into basketball season once football kind of starts winding down a little bit. I feel like that's when basketball starts getting really interesting.
Yep.
So we'll definitely kind of touch on that, but we just wanted to say we're super excited and we're really proud and go Alabama because I hope they can do well this year. They've been doing better the last couple of years. Honestly, like when I went to school there, we were an awful basketball team. Like people went, but it was like the games are free. You could get seats if you wanted. I used to sit on the sidelines like right by the players. Like I used to get high fives by the players if you got there early enough. So
wow.
Yeah, so like it just was not a great team.
The women were really good. Back in like the late 90s, early 2000s, they were really good in the SEC. They would give Tennessee a little challenge.
Yeah, I feel like they were always ranked better than the men's were.
Yeah, they were.
But yeah, so now I'm like happy that like also the men are doing better, you know? So it's like actually when I was there, like they barely even made it to March Madness or never made it. I think they made it once when I was there for 4 years.
I'm trying to think. Were they in the NIT a lot?
Yeah, they were in the NIT a lot.
Yeah.
They would like get to the finals or maybe they won it. I don't know, but they would go to the NIT instead. So it's exciting that they actually have like made it to March Madness and then they made it to the quarterfinals and semifinals. So I'm just proud.
Yeah,
proud mom. But otherwise, NBA's back too, and they're just kind of starting out their games at the moment. I think the hardest part with NBA for me is like for them, like they become free agents so quickly or they get traded so easily that it's just hard to maneuver. Like for me, when I watch basketball, rather than the team, I go for the players.
Yeah.
So when they switch teams around, it's like I get lost because I've got to figure out what team they're on.
Yeah.
Now,
the NBA, their trading is chaotic. You might as well not even have a team.
Yeah.
Because one minute you like the team, the next minute your favorite player is going to somebody else. So it's definitely different than how it is with college, and which is one of the reasons why I don't really care for it like I used to.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to have that super team, and it's just
I think it's changed a lot like that. Like I remember when I first started watching NBA, like I was a big OKC fan, and that was like when Kevin Durant had like just started pretty much. And it was like then they were such a good team then, and I feel like after that, like after LeBron went over to Miami and they started their whole big 3 super team is I think when this whole like super team thing kind of started. Like yes, it was with Kobe a little bit with the Lakers too, but I feel like it kind of became more after that.
Yeah.
And then even with everyone wanting to go to the Warriors to make them like a super team, it's just been happening more of that. And I think that's why it's kind of hard for people who actually enjoy the sport to enjoy it in that way because of all this happening in the background.
Yeah. I think the talent also, and I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of slack for saying this, but I don't really think there's talent in the league. I will say I'm not gonna knock people for playing and everything, but I just think that the athleticism and the way the game is being played is not as interesting as it was years ago. So I'll say it like that. Which is one of the reasons why I don't really watch it as much, because number one, it's a lot of politics in it. Everybody, we know. I'm not even gonna go into it, but if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But for those that don't know, y'all know that the NBA is LeBron's league. So I'm gonna just leave it like that. And I know a lot of people probably love him and the Lakers, but I'm not really a LeBron fan. So you may hear me say LeBrick a lot. Yeah. But I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I think there's a lot of prima donnas in the league right now.
Yeah.
And
they use that to their advantage too.
They do, because they know, you know, the league got to pay them. A lot of them it's just, I'm okay with it. I'd rather prefer college over the NBA right now.
Yeah. So. And I think too, like, as you watch these playoffs, the teams that were maybe like this past year's playoffs, if you watch the teams that were in the playoffs this year, they did not even exist as like a contender 3-4 years ago. Yeah. So it's just completely different. And I think even for me, it's like hard. As much as I enjoy basketball, it's hard for me to get into NBA until playoff time, just because of all this nonsense. Or even when you watch regular season games, it's like they don't, depending on who they're playing or depending on where they're positioned, it's like they don't really care to play that hard for certain games because they're saving up for the playoff or this or that. So I get it. I think I understand it.
It's a lot of good players in the G League that I feel like they do need to give them a chance. There are some that probably should go to the G League and learn to be developed before they get to the NBA. But I'm not going to go into that neither.
And I think too, like, I know like obviously height is a big deal for NBA, but I feel like just because you're tall doesn't mean you're good at basketball.
No, you could be a big, goofy, tall, lanky person, but it's all about height. And I think that's where it is. It's the most height gets that person looked at.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of the players that are in there, I feel like they need time to develop to become that person, to be that guy. There are some that I do respect their games, but it's just,
there are a lot of babies. There are a lot of man babies in the game.
A lot of crybabies. Everybody want to say somebody hit them, and then it's not physical like it used to. And I think that's where, because I'm used to seeing that, growing up in that and playing in that. I like the physicality, but the talent, they got talent.
Yeah.
But as far as just excitement of the game, it's not there yet anymore.
Even like the way I feel like they manipulate, like I know they do this in football too, but like even the way that they kind of manipulate things to make sure they get a foul.
They lie.
You know, like they like even when they're shooting threes, they just wait one more second so they can get the foul. It's like, yeah, I get it. Like I know that's how, I know you got to bend the rules sometimes, but like it's just not as fun for like a fan that really wants someone to like drive really hard to get the play.
I think a lot of times they don't want to run the risk of getting hurt.
Yeah.
Because
it's a long season. I mean,
season is 80 plus.
You're playing games, multiple games. Yeah.
And you know, you're traveling and back to back sometimes. So yeah, it's
the build is different. Like their legs are always really skinny. And so they always all get, like, Kevin Durant has like a leg injury every week because he just has really skinny legs.
It's just the conditioning. They aren't as big as former players were.
Yeah.
Because they want to just shoot threes. They want to penetrate into the middle. And when I say penetrate, I mean run in the middle. They don't want to get physical with people down low. You got nothing but guards. Everybody want to shoot threes, and I think that's where a lot of the excitement is
Mm-hmm.
lost because
Mm-hmm.
everybody want to hit a three, and I think they do that because a lot of fans like that.
Yeah.
My thing is, I'd rather you get a 3-point play by driving in the middle, getting a foul, and getting your three like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can shoot. Okay, that's all. But if we all doing that, you might as well just play horse.
I do hate when like they run back to the other side after a play and then they immediately shoot a three and then they lose the ball. It's like, what was the point? You have what, 24 seconds to try to come up with a play and yet you
Yeah,
just decided to shoot a three
yeah.
when you're up by who knows how many, like
Selfish.
15. It's just,
It's just
but
stupid the way that they have made the game the way that it is, and I'm just old school. Bring back the old school players. Bring back the competition, the shit talking. Um, hell, sometimes I even like the fights. Bring that back.
you
Because
want
it
you want like
brings
the nitty gritty in there.
as a former player and as a coach, I like that. That's where the excitement. That's when the adrenaline comes in, and that's when it gets heated. And
Yeah.
it's just back and forth, and the transition plays and all that. It's yeah. I don't like it when I see a lot of my favorite players not playing defense. It's like all you want to do is just play offense.
Mm-hmm.
We might as well just play on one side of the court if
Mm-hmm.
that's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Play 21 if we're gonna do that. Bring street ball back. That's what I'm saying. Can you do a little razzle dazzle? Just some, you shake somebody's ankle, you break it, they fall on the. Just come on, just bring that back. I can go on and on about it, but we're not gonna worry
We
about that.
will.
We're gonna
We will.
shift to another side of it.
Yeah, we
We're gonna talk
will.
about flag.
We will. So with college football right now,
Mm-hmm.
it's the first week, I believe, that they actually released the rankings to now see who is going to be in the playoffs or like how they predict it so far. So that's kind of exciting now because teams are really, I think, obviously it's always in the back of their head.
Mm-hmm.
But like now that they actually have that ranking, they're like, okay, we cannot lose any games or we lose this ranking or we lose our positioning. And it's like they kind of maybe already have an idea of what team they're going to play or, if they're in the top four, they get a bye.
Right.
So it's kind of also managing that, knowing you may not play that first game. So now I think the teams are starting to realize that. And even when I was watching some of the games yesterday, they all were talking about, like, all the commentators were talking about, oh, well, their playoff contention, or, if they lose this, they're out of playoff contention. So it's like now even the commentators are bringing in the playoff rankings into it. So it's a cool time. Like, I think there's probably about 3 or 4 games probably left in the regular season. So there's probably about 3 to 4 games left in regular season. And then they'll have their title champions as well, or their conference champions, sorry.
And then bowl games. We get to see all the different type of bowls that some bowls I've never heard of, like carpet bowl and
the
lampshade
bowl,
the citrus bowl,
the egg bowl, which I know that happens earlier, but the Tostitos bowl, Papa John's bowl, the Chick-fil-A bowl,
popcorn, Pop-Tart. That was cute. You saw the Pop-Tart.
Yeah, that was cute. That was cute.
They were out. It was different Pop-Tarts. I like that one.
Yeah. So we get into all the bowl games, and that's really fun too, because then it's like, it's around the holidays, so there's not really much to watch. So at least having that is like something fun that you can watch, but not be extremely competitive about, which is good too.
Right.
So those are exciting things coming ahead, but now we're going to shift gears a little bit, and that's why we want to kind of get into penalty flags today. When I was watching the games yesterday, it was so funny because majority of the games I was watching, like a lot of, I think what I've realized is how much penalties really factor into, especially college. I know in NFL too, but like especially college games, these penalties really affect whether a team is going to win a game or not.
Oh yeah, you can kind of, honestly, the amount of penalties that are given, you could kind of tell like who's going to win and who's not.
Right. Because it's like a loss of yards. Like, I watched I watched the Alabama LSU game yesterday, and like LSU gave up like almost 100, if not more. I don't remember exactly, but I know at one point when I was looking, they had probably given up over 50 yards in penalties. And then Alabama gave up like 20. So,
Yeah.
it really kind of changed the game because that really allowed them to continue their plays, continue to drive up the field, and then end up scoring a touchdown or field goal or whatever it be, and then end up winning the game. So, that's why we want to kind of get into flags a little bit because obviously we've talked about basics. We've talked about, touchdowns and field goals and safeties and ways that you can score points. But now that, some of you now have just understood the basics, we kind of want to get into it a little bit deeper because we've talked about it before of like, when should you maybe wait to cheer? How do you know when to cheer, kind of thing? And I think a lot of it is based on if there's a flag,
yeah,
and what the flag is. So then you kind of have an idea, especially if you're watching TV and you see yellow, you may kind of get an idea of what's about to happen even before they announce it.
Oh, yeah.
Just based on what the ref is signaling.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we want to get into today because we're all about the flags today. You even have like yellow on to match the yellow flag.
I didn't even realize that was what we were doing.
Yeah.
And then I just wore this today.
I know. I have got like gold earrings on. Kind of matching a little bit. I got like a gold belt, but anyway.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get into flags. So do you want to start off with the main ones?
Oh, yes, we can. So these are the most common flag penalties that you are going to pretty much see a ref moving. If you see them do different arm movements and flags and like they in an airport trying to get everybody, that's kind of what we're going to get into. So don't think they out there dancing, doing the robot or nothing like that, but they are actually giving you guys the call of what it is that they are signaling. If it's something that someone did, or even on the sidelines, sometimes there's times they get penalties that way.
Mm-hmm.
These are the more common penalties. So let's go. So the first one is pass interference. So it's almost like you stop, like you trying to tell them stop.
Yep.
So stop.
And pass interference can also be called for the defense or the offense. That they'll usually go like this, and then they'll point either left or right or whichever direction based on which team is the one who did it. So when you hear pass interference, maybe just wait a second because you want to see which way they're pointing, whether it's defensive or offensive. But basically, it's a 15-yard penalty. So if you get a defensive pass interference, your team basically just advanced those 10 yards like we talked about. Actually, you advanced 15. So that's why you get an automatic first down and you get to continue going down the field on your drive. But if you get a offensive pass interference, then you're backed up by 15 yards.
Yeah.
And that kind of sucks.
And you really want to hit the person in the face.
Yeah.
If it's an offensive pass interference, because you got to give the defense enough time to get to you, but you can't also,
push them away from you or like kick them to the ground.
You can't stiff arm them. Yeah. Sometimes you'll see a running back do it, or you'll see a wide receiver push off and then try to get
going. Yeah.
To get away from the cornerback or whoever it is that's guarding them. So yeah, you got to give people a chance, and even on offense, the defensive pass interference, you got to give the runner a chance, a clear shot to get to the spot. You can't just be all over them.
And I feel like most times too, like a lot of times the reason they call it is because when the player is trying to catch the ball, if defense is like not looking at the ball at all and they're focused towards the player rather than actually turning to look, that's like immediate easy grounds to be able to call it.
You can look at it and tell, like, yeah. And if you just got your hands all on them and all in this area where they can't even try to they're like, hello. And you see them jumping on the sideline, like, come on.
I love when they just go like this. Like, I love when the players are like this because they're like, where's the flag?
They are signaling it, come on. Like, you saw this. I had this.
But yeah, so that's a really big one because obviously, like we said, it's 15 yards. I want to say that's like there's a lot of different penalties, whether they range from 5, 10, or 15 yards. So that's a really big one because obviously 15 yards is, I think, the highest you can get out of a penalty.
Yes.
So that's a big one. Next, we're going to move on to false start. So basically, false start means when you are all on that line of scrimmage, someone on the offense moves first before you're ready to start the play, basically. So offense is, or sorry, yes, offense false start is a 5-yard penalty. So they always get backed up by 5 yards. You don't lose a down or anything, but now you're just tacking on 5 more yards to the 10 yards you already have to get to advance to keep going down the field. So that's one. But then for the defense, if they move while they're on the line of scrimmage, that's called offsides. So basically, that means that they have moved in some way or form when they should have been set prior to the play starting. So that's why they actually get penalized by 5 yards, meaning the offense now gets to go 5 yards more. So let's say if they're on a first down and 10, and they get a offsides, then now it'll be 1st and 5. So they only have to go 5 more yards to go past that 10-yard mark. So
yes,
that is that. Those are kind of basics. And honestly, those two you'll see very, very consistently all the time.
And you can literally look to see if you see somebody do a little, they,
or they like run in and go back
over, or they think like you'll see even the center when he's getting ready to hike the ball, he'll start pointing, or the offense or defensive line, they'll start pointing like he moved. So that way you'll know that that's what it is that they're calling.
And a lot of times too, you'll hear commentators say like, oh, there's a flag, it's offsides, there's a free play. So basically what that means is because they're going to get those 5 yards anyway, if they go and let's say do this amazing play and then they end up getting, whatever, like more than 5 yards, 10 yards, whatever, then they can always decline the penalty and then just get their 10 yards or whatever else they got. So that is one thing. The other team can always decline a penalty if they wanted, but yeah, so that's one thing too. So that's what they mean if they're like, oh, it's a free play. Not really, but they just know that if they get a better play out of it, then they're going to go for that rather than just accepting those 5 yards.
Yeah.
Next
is holding. So you got a lot of guys that love the whole thing. Well, I see it a lot when either the defense or offensive line or defensive line is holding someone farther back than where they need to be. So you only have a certain amount of time or pretty much space to be able to hold somebody, and somebody might hold someone for an excessive amount of time, and that can cause, especially if it's a really good play, the call can get called back. You can lose yardage or you can gain yardage.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that really make you mad because it's like, dude, it just cost us to have a whole touchdown because you out here wanting to hold on to somebody for a very long time or not giving them the opportunity to advance the ball because you just
held on.
You just got a bear hug. You and him.
Yeah.
Locked
you just
on.
not letting go.
Not at all.
And it's a 10-yard penalty. So that's kind of a lot, especially like if you did get a touchdown, now it just comes back, it's erased. If you, let's say, like we talked about, you're at a 1st and 10, you get a holding penalty on the offense. Ooh, now it's a first and 20. so yeah. But you can also get defensive holding. So once again, got to check which side. So same thing for them though, right? I think defensive holding is it 5 or 10 yards?
It's 10.
It's 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So even for them, I think that's also a big deal because once again, automatically your offense now gets a first down.
Yeah. You just gave the offense more yardage to get closer to the touchdown and vice versa.
Yeah.
Just don't hold people.
Yeah.
Just tackle a little bit and then just let them go.
Right.
Some of y'all just
right.
Y'all love it.
Yep. You want to do the next one too?
Roughing the passer. Boom. Roughing the passer. So you'll see the ref standing up and it's going to the side. So pretty much what that means is quarterback is in the midst of throwing, and then of course you hitting them down below where you know you're not supposed to, or you hitting them in an area that can actually change the route of where they're throwing. You see that a lot with defensive line coming at them or rushing the actual passer and not giving the quarterback enough time to be able to move and look to see where he can throw the ball to. And that is an automatic 15-yard penalty.
That's a tough one.
You gotta, if your offensive line is protecting the quarterback, cool. But if for some reason somebody just gets past them,
tough.
Your quarterback is gonna be
tough.
You see it a lot when it was with what's his name? Tom Brady. There was a lot of those roughing the passer calls, and it was a little questionable. It's a lot questionable ones. But yeah, you will see that a lot. You'll see a lot of the quarterbacks, throwing it now. What's his name? Mahomes, go home. His name is. He likes to throw.
Speaking of man babies,
he likes to cry, saying "Somebody touch me."
But same thing too with like roughing the kicker, right?
Yes,
it's like the same thing when they're trying to kick the ball for when they're punting it or they're kicking the field goal or whatever. You got to be careful. You got to let them have their space.
You got to give them the space
to be able to kick the ball,
because you don't want to get kicked in the face while somebody's foot is coming at you, and you either doing that or you can definitely cause them to have a lot of injuries with that. I think I seen a while ago. I think I seen someone hit somebody in the knee, and the knee kind of dislocated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the sucky thing with that, I mean, obviously that's really sucky, but like the sucky thing with that too is like if it was like a 4th and 5 and then you get a roughing the kicker, they automatically get a first down and keep the ball. The defense doesn't get the ball anymore. So you just kind of screwed yourself over.
Yeah.
So next is it's a really big one in college right now is targeting. So basically you cannot attack a defenseless player with the crown of your helmet. So basically if you see a player moving in with their helmet to hit someone else in the helmet, or pretty much I'd say like probably above the neck, then that's also a 15-yard penalty, and that player gets thrown out of the half. Or the game. Sorry, the game. Sorry,
and you may not be able to play for another half of the next game.
Correct. So yeah, that's what it is. If you get out, let's say the third quarter of that game, then you're out of the first half of your next game as well. So that's like a really big one that's been happening a lot lately. I think it was happening so much in college football that they recently have really kind of cracked down on these targeting calls.
Oh yeah.
Because there were a lot of players getting hurt, a lot of players getting concussions. And so they really, really, kicked down on that. So like I said, that is more of that's usually defense hitting offense for the most part. So then your offense is really going to be able to go further with those 15 yards. And hey, if it was a really good player that caused the targeting and they're out of the game, good for you, because now you don't have to worry about them anymore. So
they can't even be out on the field. They have to go in the locker room.
Yeah. Let's just hope your player is okay, obviously, yes. But that's a big one.
Yeah. They really cracking down on CTE.
Yeah. So speaking of that, our last one too, that can also be very traumatic is face mask. So pretty much if you've got a player who's holding on to their helmet, holding on to their face mask,
grabbing at the mask.
Yep. Or like pulling it off. Mm-hmm. Those are really easy signs. There was one yesterday where he literally just pulled it off the guy, and it was like, dude, seriously?
Yeah. I've seen a lot now with guys pulling hair.
Yeah.
And like literally snatching hair. It's like, what? That's how you tackle somebody, is grabbing them by the head.
I saw this meme yesterday where they were like, this guy literally got grabbed by the hair, and then they circled the hair that was on the field.
I was like,
yeah,
y'all out here. So I think they're starting to say like they don't want guys to have long hair, or try to make it that they put it up,
right?
Because that is one of those things where the people are now starting to grab, instead of grabbing like the jersey or
Well, and then
compliment and
even too,
stuff.
like some people they'll wear like their necklaces and stuff,
Oh yeah,
right? So like a lot of people like they'll have their chains on and then they like grab their chain, and I feel like that's dangerous too,
yeah.
you
Why
know?
not? I mean, I know some of the guys are probably not wearing. Well, I would hope that it's not their expensive chains, but some of them do. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Why?
eh,
But yeah, so even face mask is a 15-yard penalty. So same
mhm.
thing. These are like really, really costly. Um, so be smart.
Yeah.
Be smart.
So when you see that little yellow flag, that's like a little ball, and then like it almost looks like a badminton little thing, little white thing. Well, anyway, if you see the yellow flag be
Shuttlecock.
thrown, is that what it's called?
Mm.
Okay. God, I don't really know.
I used to play badminton as a kid.
So if you see it out there, just know like just pump your brakes. Don't get too hyped, but just make sure you are aware of what's going on and seeing when the refs are coming together, and you can actually see them actually doing the call. So when the
Mhm.
actual ref is doing his call to everybody, you'll know exactly what's going on.
And then even along those lines, like let's say you thought it was a touchdown. If there's a play that ever seems controversial or there's a flag or something, then the refs will usually say like previous play is under
Under
further review.
review.
So they're gonna look at it on their TVs and they're gonna look at it over and over again to make sure his foot was in bounds or
Mm-hmm.
he was in bounds or he actually caught it. It didn't touch the ground first. All these other things. So
Yes.
but keep an eye out because if you see a yellow flag coming, don't get too excited about what just happened unless you really, really know and you really, really saw. Don't get so excited just yet.
Yeah.
But now that we've covered our yellow flags of football, we're going to cover our green. I say beige. I don't really say yellow, but I say like beige flags and then red flags.
Updating.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there are a lot of those that are out.
And it's like they've gotten worse. And okay, so as before we get into this, so the other day I was hanging out with some of my friends, and they were all like looking at me, and they were like, like we know you're such a great catch, like you are working really hard in this. You have all these activities that you do. You enjoy all these things. Whatever, your personality is great. Like it's okay that you're over 30. And it was just funny to me because I was just like, that actually doesn't bother me at all. I just
Okay.
think it's funny because I think they were trying to say that like it seems like you don't have any red flags, so I don't understand.
Gotcha.
And I was like, I don't know, it really doesn't bother me. I think it's fine. I think you just got to keep moving with your life and grooving and doing things and it's okay. And then yeah, there's a lot of other red flags out there that you just have to keep an eye on. But I think maybe like I said, like I think dating 30 plus is different because the flags that you see maybe you didn't care about in your 20s or maybe they've advanced or developed, I don't know, but like it's definitely changed.
I think with dating in your 20s, because we all are being told, you want to be married by, I'll just say, you want to be married by 28, you want to have this life, because we're looking at what a lot of our parents or adults are telling us, like, oh, you go off to college, you're going to find the person of your dreams, you're going to get married, you're going to have the family, boom, boom, boom. So in your 20s, you're just trying to find somebody that likes you. You're not actually really like digging deep to find
Life,
yourself
yeah.
and what it is that you want and what you're going to tolerate and the things that might be a red flag. We don't really see it because we're all seeing this little fluff of stuff. But as you get older, that's when you start really developing like, dang, this is something that I actually did back in my 20s, or I was dating somebody that had this. Now I'm able to recognize that this is not what I actually want.
Right.
So I think it just comes with time, experience.
And it's a very different, it's definitely a different experience of what you're looking for, what you are also bringing to the table
Yes.
as well. Like maybe you are now more successful in your career. You have ambitions and goals that maybe you didn't have in your early 20s or whatever. I think in college I was like, I just want to pass this exam. So it was a little different compared to now. So I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I just had to bring that up because I just thought it was a funny topic, and I thought, why not bring it up while it's fresh on
But
my
I feel like even with any friends, I mean, you talk about that a lot,
mind.
and you recognize that there are things that we might not see that other people may see,
Mhm.
and be like, okay, well, he wasn't like this, or he was trash, or she was trash, whichever way, depending on the person. Um, and now we have these radars
Mhm.
that are signaling like, this is not what I want
Yeah.
versus this is what I want. And then of course, your likes are different
Right.
because we grow with time.
Right.
And I think it's great. Honestly, I think it's great to recognize your own flags
Yeah.
because we have the tendency to not be able to just say that we're flawed. And that's a good thing for you to work on yourself, is just building yourself and knowing like, okay, these are things that I know I need to work on. You need to work on this for yourself.
Self-reflecting is a really big deal.
It's hard to do though.
It is really hard, but it's a really big deal for sure.
I've come to the realization that I got some red flags.
Yeah, I do too. Oops. I know. I was like the other day. I was like, "Wait, am I the red flag?"
You did say that because we talked about it, and you was like, "Wait, am I?"
I think I'm the red flag.
And it's hard to even with being a friend. It's kind of hard to be like,
"Yeah, you are."
yeah, no, not necessarily a red, maybe a orange,
yeah,
red, somewhat, not necessarily green, not necessarily yellow, but you're tipping toeing close to that red.
yeah. I think. So, yeah, I think I'm orange red.
I think I got burnt orange.
yeah. Anyway, so let's get into good flags. Let's get into the green flags. What are green flags that you look for?
Communication.
I was gonna say that's my big one too. That's my number one.
Express yourself in a way that you don't have to be too emotional or just feel like you just gotta retreat. You gotta be able to approach it and be able to come back from it. So definitely communication, being clear and concise. That's a green flag. Another one is,
so even on that, I'll say too, like even with the communication, I think it's good to be clear, concise, consistent, because it's like
C's.
Because I know I love a good like alliteration, repetition. I love it. But I think too, because yes, you can communicate with me, but I think for me it's like I want to still know that you're thinking about me or you care about me.
Okay.
So it's like one message a week. Maybe some of you out there like the one message a week. That's great. I have a couple of men that I think I could pass over to you if you like that.
The ones that were in your Rolodex? Are they no longer in your Rolodex?
They may not be if I still continue to get one message a week. But I think too, it's also that consistency of like, you know what? I know we may not have a lot to say. I know we're both busy, but even reaching out to just say like, hey, I hope you're doing okay, or hope your day is fine. Can't wait to see you next, or whatever it is. I think even on those lines of communication.
So reassurance.
Yeah, I think that I think that's the reason behind communication. It kind of goes hand in hand, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because you want to make sure that you still pique that person's interest and vice versa.
Right.
So definitely you just gotta make sure that you are still able to just express that, yes, I like you, I like where this is going, let's continue this going.
Right. I think there just needs to be a little bit of that, and I think that's the whole point behind the communication, because even if you just send someone a message to just say, hey, thinking about you, but then there's nothing else along with that, then that's also
repetition,
not really doing anything.
No,
but
that's love bombing.
Yeah, which we'll get into red flags later. But I think that's another thing to go alongside communication. Yes, communicate. Yes, be clear. but also consistently communicate, whether it's either one message, you're really busy that day, or just something to show that you're caring about that person, even by asking them how they're doing, or, they had a big project coming up. How did that go?
Okay.
Or you care about their interests to say, oh, I saw the score of that game.
Right.
How do you feel about it? I don't know,
Right.
just something to just, like you said, continue the interest, continue showing that you are interested.
Okay. Let's see. What's another green flag? Um,
Being considerate and thoughtful.
okay.
Like, I like when I maybe say, like, at one time I'll say, oh, I really like yellow flowers or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then, or like, fine. People are going to judge me for saying yellow flowers. Okay. I like tulips. Okay.
Okay.
So I don't actually, I like roses best, but,
tulips are actually my favorite. I'm not a rose
oh,
girl.
really? Oh,
Really,
I
I
like
think
the
it's
colors of
cliche.
tulips, but I think I like the different colors of roses. But anyway, so let's say, like, I told you that I like roses.
Mm-hmm.
And then, a couple of days later, you've like found some beautiful chocolate rose that you bought me or something.
Okay.
Because you heard me say one time that I like roses or something, just something that's like very minimal, but like extremely thoughtful, I think is like a really green flag, because that shows to me that you're listening.
Yes.
And I think listening is actually the main green flag here. So,
listening and actually hearing what the person is saying, because you can listen all the time. That don't mean you got to be listening.
Right.
Like, I can.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I mentioned to someone what my favorite movie was, and then after that, they were like, "Oh, let's watch that movie," meaning that they actually remembered what I said.
Right.
So I was like, "Okay, that's thoughtful. That means you're listening." So to me, that's a green flag.
Okay. Okay. I think engagement.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess that goes back to being consistent,
Mm-hmm.
or even telling them the things that you like, and you want to show them those things that you like. So yeah, engagement, definitely that. Let's see, another green flag.
For me, someone who, I wouldn't say like take charge is the right word, but someone who leads.
Okay.
Like they're the ones who want to plan things for me, or they want to plan the dates, or they want to, um, they're picking the restaurant, but making sure I can eat there first because I'm vegetarian. But, like those kind of things where they're like, well, let me take the lead on this. This is what we're going to do.
Yes.
I like that, because there's other ways that I can also take lead, because maybe there's other things that I know that maybe he doesn't, right? Okay. Or whatever. Like, we have our sides of stuff, but someone who can kind of take on that role. Like, I like someone who's more of like a leader. Dominance, I don't like that word.
Yeah.
But that's kind of, I guess, kind of what I'm getting at.
I think it's just when certain people use the word dominant, it's more so they want to just be the man of the relationship. Everything got to go through them. They don't want you to have your voice and all that.
It needs to be equal.
It needs to be a balance.
Partnership still. Yeah, balance for sure. But there's certain things where it's like, I would love for them to take the lead on certain things, and then I'll take it on other things. But I think when it comes to, I think when we're talking about early in relationships, I think when we're talking about planning dates or planning meetups or things like that, sure, maybe after the third or fourth date, like, I'll start giving my input of what I think we can do. But, I think those first like 2-3 dates are really crucial and critical, when like they make that initiative and they make the effort of, this is what I would like for us to do. Okay. So just showing initiative, I think showing effort is the green flag there.
I like to feel safe. So I think a lot of times when guys hear the word safety or security, they think financially. That's not necessarily the case.
Right.
When I say I want to feel safe, I want to feel like I can be my soft self. I don't want to always feel like I got to be hard. And I think for me, once I feel that, I can be that.
Yeah.
Not necessarily docile, but a little bit of submissiveness.
It's hard being vulnerable.
Vulnerable.
It's hard. So I understand it, especially when you have two very tough, strong, independent women. it is very difficult for us to
Yeah.
kind of like let someone take lead or let someone, make us feel like we've had to be tough our whole lives. So now we
Yes.
kind of have to let someone in and let that soft part of us,
Yeah.
exist. And I think I agree with you on that.
Oh yeah. That right there, if it's just that reassurance of like, no matter where we are, I got you, you're okay, you're safe, you don't always have to be on guard, that's a green flag.
Yeah, agreed. Let's switch. Let's go to yellow flags, beige flags, like I call it.
um, Not allowing me to get a word in because I'm a talk.
Oh yeah,
I'm a talk. I think, well, that could be a red flag.
I know. That's I'm like these are kind of tough. For me, my beige flag would be this is probably mean, but if you are really busy,
Mm-hmm.
it's not like a red flag, and I don't mind that you're busy because I'm busy too. But I think it's beige because if you're too busy that you are not able to carve out time to either, whatever, talk to me, acknowledge me, whatever it be,
Okay.
then I think that becomes a beige flag because I'm like, okay, clearly I don't not I think of myself as maybe I may not be considered a priority anymore.
Mm.
So then that's why I'm like, if you're really busy,
Mm-hmm.
then that might be tough because now we've both got to carve out. Like, I'm a really busy person too, but I still make time for the people that I care about, or I fit everything into those few days that I have off. So, like, I'm putting in that effort because I care.
Okay.
And so I would expect the same. So that's why I'm like, it's a beige flag. I don't mind that you're busy, but if your busyness takes over from, putting me in the list of priorities, not
Mm-hmm.
saying I got to be number one, but
You
top
want to
five,
be top five.
top five.
You want to be included in this person's daily life, not necessarily saying that you got to talk to me all day every day,
Yeah.
but multiple times throughout the week.
Yeah.
Make me feel like I matter. And I think that's definitely for me. That is a burnt orange. Is if I don't feel like I matter,
I get bored.
then I abort mission. Yeah. So that one
That's
is
my
definitely
toxic red. That's my red flag that we're talking about.
Because it's like, well, why are you wasting people's time?
Yeah.
If you just want to have me in your Holodex, I'm not a Holodex person. Yes, I have my own, but I don't want that to be used against me.
Right.
Like, I don't want to be in your Holodex.
There's a reason that we have a Holodex. It's because there's not one that's strictly sticking out because he's not doing everything that he should. Vice versa, females too. I don't know. We'll have to get opinions from other people on that.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, so same thing there. So that's the reason we actually have one. We could eliminate it if one of you could just stick up and stand out, but for some reason none of you want to. So that's why we have to have this holodeck. I'm just saying, I'm on a rant. I'm annoyed, but don't get me mad. But
Y'all do what you got to do to not be in a hole. Like, what is going on? The options.
I'm just saying.
Ooh.
There's a reason that you have one, right?
Yes,
It's because someone's not sticking up and like stepping up like they should.
But that's always, even just in life in general, when people always say you got to have a plan A, plan B, plan C. You always have to have options. When one thing isn't working, you got to have something else.
Right.
We're not out here saying that, we out here hoeing per se.
No.
But when one person is,
do what you want.
Hey, if that's what you want to do, you want to hop on multiples, you want to bounce.
We do not condone.
Just be safe with it, okay? just be safe with your bouncing.
Yeah.
And just understand that
we do not judge.
No judgment. I've done some things. I'm sure you've done some things. But in my heart of hearts, just know that we're in the cuffing season. This is draft. As a matter of fact, it is beyond draft season.
Mm-hmm.
People got lineups. You got to be able to make it through the regular season to get to the playoffs, and then the championship. The championship is my heart. Mm-hmm. And if you can't get past preseason and regular season,
then you're getting put on the rookie list, which is what the
Holodex
is.
You went to the G League. That's what a Holodex is actually. That means like you are in the back burner, and I'm gonna waive you. So we're gonna put it in the sports term.
Third string.
You might be the practice squad. That's all you gonna do. You just gonna be there when I need that practice, but when it's game time, I'm stepping out with somebody else.
Right.
So
you got to graduate from practice squad and actually make it onto the roster, make it onto the league.
So if you in the G League, that means you in the Holodex. That means I'm trying to ruffle through and trying to find more players because I got a lot on injured reserve. Some of them just got waived because they just didn't make the cut at all, or it's just
injury.
Yeah, and there are a lot of reserves that are older that may not be moving as fast as the rookies are, but then they got that experience.
Yeah, they got a place. They still have a place in your heart. You don't discriminate via age either. Okay.
No. And sometimes you got to go back to the past sometimes to get to what it is that you need, and that might be what they were doing back then. Might have been not what you was into, but as you gotten older, you realize like, hey, that's what I actually needed. So let me go to my reserve and go ahead and get him out of retirement.
And I think the thing with the Holodex too is it's like those people, they're not. They have some green flags, they have some yellow flags, but they have more red flags. I think that's how you differentiate. Also,
yeah, you gotta know like what are the things that you and that person were doing,
deal breaker,
and why you aren't with that person, and if it's something that you can actually rebuild on versus all I'm really gonna do is
out.
Some of y'all could just be used for just purposes of recreation.
Yeah, maybe you just want someone to watch one game with. Maybe you just wanted some dinner that day and they were the only one that was free.
You may want some extracurricular activity, and that's all that they can give you because they can't give you anything else because they lack the substance. And you just might want to just.
And they'll answer the phone if you ring.
You got that special ringtone. Have you ever had somebody that had a ringtone for you specifically?
That happened for me?
Or
I have set people specific ringtones.
But have they set you as a specific ringtone?
They did, but it's because we were dating.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have.
No. I don't have that.
But college time.
Now everyone has the iPhone ringtone.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, whatever that is.
I think I don't know if one of my exes still has it, but it goes along with a nickname. So it's a song, and the song is the ringtone. So it's like.
Yeah, my ex and I had ringtones for each other.
This one was a little.
I was gonna say I don't want to say what the ringtone was on camera either, but some people have that. Some people do that. That's fine. But the point is that they pick up the phone. You hear their ringtone. You know exactly who it is.
Yeah.
So that's why they stay in the Holodex. They have those yellow flags, but then they also have a lot of red flags. So then you're just not really sure. But they can graduate those red flags to yellow. So then you're like, well, let me keep them there because maybe this will come in handy later.
Could be. And then you might be out and about and you might meet somebody that might strike your interest. Like, oh, a little something in common. I'll put you in the Holodex, but you don't actually have a name. Per se. Like, well, let me scratch that. In order for you to get in the Holodex, you have to do something because you might just be just a phone number in my phone.
So it's funny because everyone makes fun of me because I automatically put people's names in my phone because I just don't remember who you are. So like if I just have a random phone number, I'm just not going to remember. And I'm not the person who's going to sit here and read through the text to remember who you are. I'm just not going to remember and I'm going to delete it. So I always put people's names in there and my friends always make fun of me because they're like, don't do that. Don't do that. You're going to get attached.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I just literally don't remember the person's name. So if they text me later, I'm not going to know who they are.
No.
So then I add their name, but then I also put where I met them.
Oh,
So then I remember where I remember them from.
that's too much
And
typing.
then, like, if need be, I'll block you or delete you
That's
later.
too
But
much. In order for you to be saved in my phone with the potential to be more, we have to. There's things that you have to do. There's
yeah,
tests that you have to pass.
yeah.
Otherwise,
I will say
I'm gonna
I
be like,
don't.
"Who are you?"
I will say I don't tell people. I don't tell my friends people's names. Like I keep the name to myself. But unless like I see something going somewhere, I don't tell my friends their name.
Well, we make names of
I was
people.
gonna say we make nicknames for our people, so I'll text her and be like, "Oh, guess who called me today?
Such and such.
It
We're not
was
gonna give out the nicknames because
football man. I don't know,
there we
whatever.
go.
It was. I made that one up.
Like,
There's no one called football man, but
should I talk about the cookout?
yeah, you should. Well, let's do red flags first,
Okay, okay,
and then we'll talk
okay.
back. We'll end on a fun story. So, okay, red flags. Big red flags.
Definitely disrespect.
Oh yeah, ugh, gross.
You
Bye.
one time. I'm not even giving you a chance. You disrespect me one time. That's it. Not giving me a chance to speak or say that my opinion does not matter. Like I said,
Chauvinism,
oh,
sexism. Ugh,
if you was talking about traditional values of a man needs to be in charge
gender
and a
roles.
woman gender roles,
Gross.
automatic.
Bye.
That's what I'm actually going to talk about. I'm going to talk about that instance versus the other one because that made me mad.
I would say my red flag. Ooh. Oh. Oh. New one I've discovered. There is this thing called love bombing that I didn't know existed until earlier this year. Um, Love bombing is bad. It's not fun because it really makes you think that someone really cares about you and likes you because they either want to talk to you all the time or tell you all these things that they like about you. And then they just drop you or they ghost you. And so then you're like, oh, so was that real or not? So for me, it is really, really hard for me to differentiate between love bombing and actual caring. And I think that's sad that that's happening these days. But love bombing is a red flag to me because I would rather you just be honest. You can say I'm pretty and you can say I'm cool and you like me, but that's enough. You don't have to describe how my hair color gets you excited. You don't have to describe how you love my fashion sense. You don't. I'm trying to think of what he said. I'm trying to remember the specific instances. You don't have to describe my physical features and say how they are attractive to you. You can just say that you think I'm pretty and then move on, or you can say I'm not. That's fine
Just
too.
gross.
Yeah.
Like, why are you going? It's almost like
You don't
you're
have to send me
tearing somebody.
paragraphs.
It's like you are giving all of these good things, but yet you're tearing the person down.
Yeah.
For it.
Yeah.
So don't do that.
It's like paragraphs of descriptions are unnecessary.
Yeah. If there's
or
some
is
likening,
consistent, like always phone calls, always texts. It's too much.
Now, a big red flag about me is not about me, but what I don't like. I don't like when people argue the type of communication when you're like, well, texting is that's how I do. I don't care anybody texting. No, I want to hear your voice. And sometimes texting, I know for me, I'm an over analyzer and I overanalyze a lot of things. So sometimes the texting, I might feel as though it's coming at me negatively, although it may not be, but I feel like it needs to be a difference. I need to be able to hear your voice when you are trying to explain things to me. I can't feel how you feel in a text message and vice versa. I'm sarcastic. So sometimes certain words
Banter
you may
doesn't
hear
work as
me.
well. Yeah, sometimes on text. Yeah.
Sometimes you might take it as me saying okay, as in like, okay, are you telling me? And it might not even be that. It could just be me saying, okay, like, oh, got it. Noted. But it could be just the way that it's being brought about because of how I am. So yeah, I want to be able to hear your voice. I want to be able to understand what you're feeling if you're going through something. So the tone
Okay.
that's definitely I need that.
So before we get to story time, I'm gonna go over 3 of my other red flags, and I'll
Okay.
go quick because I we want to get to story time. I know we do. I'll go through them quick. I'll say one is family. Like if they have a troublesome relationship with their family, then I does kind of make me second guess whether they'll be able to get along with mine. I
Mm-hmm.
need to, if you do have troublesome family, I just need to possibly know why, because that could be a red flag to me based on what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Next one for me is, we've talked about this. You got to watch sports. That's just a personal thing.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
we just we got to watch football together. Come on now.
Can't be a square.
No,
We gotta have
you
competition.
gotta have.
We
Yeah,
gotta.
we gotta have.
That's huge.
Yeah. And then third, I totally. Third is an interesting one for me. Third is seeing how they travel. I don't like people who are really demanding. So like when I go to a restaurant and they're like, "This food sucks. I deserve a refund. I don't like this. I can't believe they didn't fluff the pillows." Like I don't like I'm a very like adapting type of person. And so even if my food wasn't that great, I'm not going to like not tip them for it. If even if unless it was like wrong.
Oh, I was about to say.
But no. If it's like the wrong order, that's different.
Yeah.
But I just meant like if maybe like I wanted mashed potatoes, but it was like didn't have enough salt. I'm not gonna like downgrade the waitress for that.
Right. It's not her problem. It's the cook.
Right.
Like
so
blame her.
Or like I've when like I said, you're like staying somewhere and they're like, oh, this room is dirty, this carpet is gross, like
The constant
pillows,
complaining.
the complaining, the
And
whining. It's too much. Like I said, I will adapt. There are certain things sure that I also don't like, but like for the most part, I'll adapt and adjust if need be. And so I can't be with someone who's very over the top.
Because it just makes you feel uncomfortable. Because it's like, well, damn, I can't take you nowhere.
Yeah, especially if like you booked the hotel and you booked the trip and then they're like shitting on it.
Yeah. Like,
okay, you could stay at home next time. I'll go by myself.
You SOB.
Or I'll take a friend.
Right. Because next time, it won't be a next time.
Yeah, you don't get a next time.
You won't.
And especially because I travel a lot. If you can't travel with me, that's going to be a problem. It's just going to be me and my mom traveling everywhere, and then you'll just have to sit at home.
Yeah.
So,
and watch the stories.
Yeah. And wish you were there. And then everyone's going to be like, why weren't you there? Well, let me tell you why he wasn't there. Because he's a complainer.
And I'm glad I said that about the stories. That's a huge red flag. Don't be in my stories looking at my stuff and then don't say anything. Because I know you read it. I know you saw it. Don't ask me, hey, what are you doing? You see what I'm doing.
And that's not a form of communication for you to just like a story and then still ignore us the next day. That's not communicating.
No.
Social media needs to be taken out of that equation. Like, sure, look at the story, message us, whatever. Even if you don't look at the story, honestly, that's fine too. But like,
yeah,
don't have time to look at it, but then not have time to talk to us. I think that's weird.
Like, I get it. I mean, you might be in the midst of working and doing other stuff, and you might just come across, oh, what is that? Let me see what she posts.
Right.
Boom. Cool. But don't do that and then right behind ask, what are you doing? If I just posted it. Like, fool.
And a story shouldn't be a reminder for you to remember to talk to us either. That's dumb.
No, that's dumb. Don't be like, oh, Twitter fingers. No, you know I was not on your brain at the time, and it just so happened I posted something, and now ding dong.
Right.
Oh, let me pretend to care.
Right. Rude.
Ugh.
Well, let's get to story time because we're kind of cutting close to our time. So we'll let you share the story this week, and I'll share one next week. I'll share my story next week.
So this was quite recent. This was an instance where someone who so I have this tendency to be in dating groups on Facebook or any social media stuff like that. Like I just, for the hell of it, it's not because I'm looking to meet somebody. It just so happens a lot of times things are on there as far as, outings, thoughts, restaurants, and stuff like that. So I go on there for the engagement to be able to go out and about and know about events in the city. So I joined it, and it was a question about, it was more so just posting a picture of you or something like that, just to say hi or something. So you introduce yourself. I get a DM from this guy. First mistake, you don't yo me. Don't say yo, because who are you yoing?
I'm also not like your homeboy. Unless I am. Unless I am.
We never kicked it or anything, and y'all gonna hear me say kick the really bobo. That means we have not interacted.
Yeah.
I'm from Augusta. That's what we say. So you're gonna hear sometimes I might say some Augusta lingo. So at first something was telling me, don't even respond, because who is yo?
Mm-hmm.
Not you. And we not back in the 90s. Ain't no yo, what's up, homie? No. But I said, you know what? I got time today. I'm gonna have some fun. So let's just see.
It's literally what she texted me. I have time today, so I'm gonna have some fun.
So let me just entertain this. It's not anything serious, because I don't really care, because the profile picture I can't really see him, because it was him talking to kids. So it that kind of interests me, because I was like, okay, he's a coach. He's into sports. Okay, let's play into this.
And he must like work well with kids.
Must, or that could have been,
or hopefully so. Yeah.
So I say yo back, because I'm gonna give it back the same way it came to me. And then we started conversing. We had a lot of things in common. The yo kind of put me off, but everything underneath that, I mean, besides that, was like, okay, he can actually carry on the conversation. And this was all in like 24 hours. This is how quickly you will not even get in my phone, or better yet, you won't even be in the Holodex. Mm-hmm. So this is how you get yourself waived.
This is how you get blocked,
because you ain't even making it blocked. This is just considering. We're in the midst of considering you to be drafted. The question comes about family values, your upbringing, and about why you aren't dating someone. So this guy, number one, I don't have kids. And yes, I am in my 40s. I'm in my early 40s. So I told on myself, I know, I don't, the face card don't lie. Anyway, he is in his 30s. Now, for me, I have a cutoff of dating guys that are in their 30s. I don't want to date anybody that is under 35. That's just my preference. I don't want someone that's in their early 30s, because you're still trying to find your life. I don't care what y'all say. You can be successful, all that, and no. Mature-wise, you're 40 plus is a totally different thing. I'm not out here trying to be somebody's mama.
What's your since we're on this topic, mm-hmm. what's your highest age limit?
I will say probably 47.
Okay.
For right now. I mean, I can meet somebody that's 50.
Mine's like the decade. Mine is like 31 to 40. That's how I was curious.
So yeah, I don't really want to date.
31 to 39. I take that back.
I feel like it's just certain things that I'm looking for me for right now. And it could change, because as I get older, the age is going to go with the time. But this person just so happens to be under that 35 threshold. So that's automatically saying no. Like I said, I don't have kids. This person has 3. That is a huge thing. Not saying that I won't date anybody with kids, but there's a cutoff as to how many, because
and their age ranges.
Yeah. So the question comes up about, are all of your kids by the same person? Which, of course, in this case, yes, they all have the same mother. So I was like, okay, what is your relationship with their mother? Because that's huge for me, especially for someone who is dating someone who has kids.
Right.
I have to make sure that there's a good relationship. If there's any issue between you and the children's mother, that is a red flag. I'm gone. I am gone. I'm running.
And even if like they can get along too, but not more than just as friends, possibly, because you also got to make sure that relationship has ended.
Yes. I have to make sure that there's a good co-parenting.
Yeah.
And that is it.
That's all. Yeah.
Not that you just have the tendency to just slip back in because she's in your Rolodex, and y'all might still have those moments of passion.
Or you're asking her about your current girlfriend. I've seen that before. That's weird.
I don't want that.
No.
Don't. I mean, y'all can have a good relationship, but to put somebody else in that and this person is judging and all that, no, I don't want that.
Right.
That's definitely one thing. So he said that they have a good relationship, and that's all that they have. So the question came about, well, why didn't you marry her? Because y'all have a good relationship. You got multiple kids. Clearly, you were together for a while. This age, well, not even the age, the amount of time that him and this woman was together was literally between 18 to 30, and he was 32. That is your whole entire adult life, and y'all didn't even decide to get married. So that is another thing. That's way over 10 years. And you never thought about giving this person a ring. That just tells me marriage might not be
maybe commitment issues.
And he made it seem as though it was the other person. But I'm like, there's got to be a reason why, because the man is the one to determine if he wants to get married to the woman. So that was another red flag. And then, of course, because we're in these times where guys feel like women need to go back to the 50s and 60s where they were barefoot and pregnant, I asked a question about what are your views on what are your views on gender roles?
It's funny to me because it's like you have the soft men era, but then you also have these other men who like want women to be in the 50s.
Right.
Anyway,
so he decides to say that he believes in traditional values. And I said, okay, well, can you explain to me what that is? Because there are some things that I believe that we could go back to that men should be able to do and things that women should be able to do. However, my issue is household responsibilities do not need to be directed towards the woman herself. It should be a group together thing. It should not be where I'm the only one that's cooking, cleaning, doing all of the housework, and you just coming home expecting to have a bubble bath. Well, this guy decides to say that he believes that that is what his woman is supposed to do. She should be the one to always cook. And I asked, well, do you know how to cook? Because what are you doing right now? How are you eating?
Right.
Because you have to be able to either cook or go out and get food
for your children.
Exactly.
I mean, for yourself, but like also for your children.
How are you maintaining your household? I mean, are you making that much money where you got a maid coming in? Because if that's the case, then okay. However, he said yes, he knows how to cook, but he wants his woman to cook all the time. We've already said in previous episodes, I ain't cooking every day. So
I'm lucky if I even cook once a week.
So that right there is another thing. Is the fact that you are wanting the woman to do these old traditional values, but then also you expect her to work.
Yeah.
You expect her to bring the table. But how are you going to be able to do that?
Take care of your children.
Take care of your children, because that was another question. Do you want to have more kids? Because you have 3. I don't. Well, yeah, I would want to have more if she wants to. So then that's a whole nother thing. It's you're expecting all of this, but you're not saying what it is that you are planning on doing.
Right.
To help.
What are you bringing to the table?
Yeah. You know, like there's got to be some middle leeway because she's going to be tired. I had already in my head had already said we're not going past this conversation, so I'm not looking forward to anything. And so he asked me, well, how do you feel about that? And I said, well, if you make a mess or you're creating things, then you should be able to clean up behind yourself. It shouldn't be just, oh, let your mom take care of it. Because no, my mom didn't raise no fools. She didn't raise my brothers to be that way. She didn't raise me to be that way. So I'm not going to be your maid. Because if I'm going to be a maid, then I'm going to need to be employed. No. Now there may be some times where I might want to cook, but I would want you to want to do that too. Like, can we it's being thoughtful. It goes back to what you were saying.
Right.
You know, I would want a man to be able to take care of me, because what happens if something happens to me where I would need to be dependent on you?
Yeah.
And you're sitting there scratching your head like, I don't even know how to boil water.
Right. Yeah, do the things together.
Like,
I mean, I don't like to cook, but I don't mind if someone wants to cook. I'll help them chop the vegetables or something, or like the dishes or whatever. Yeah.
Do that in role play. Like, we're in the kitchen together, and I'm looking at you like, shit, look at
that boiling that water.
I might want to take off a little item of a clothing or something. We might want to have a little fun in the kitchen. But I'm saying, like, it just makes you feel like this man is out here doing all of this. Let me return the favor, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Like, he looking at me like, damn, look at my wife in there. She over there chopping that thing up. Let me go wash the dishes for her.
Right.
Let me make what she's doing a lot less.
Like you said, stressful. Back to thoughtful, back to considerate. Yes. Yeah.
And you automatically sitting there saying, no, I'm not cooking. So there's no way to be able to compromise. That is another red flag. If you cannot compromise,
yeah,
that is literally going to just bye.
Seal that. Seal it. It's done.
To make this short, it comes up about, oh, you're feisty. And I'm like, how am I feisty? Because I like to argue. I mean, not really argue, but I like to debate, which is a form of argument. Mm-hmm. And it was just, well, why don't you just give me what I'm asking?
Yeah, it's basically just because you're not agreeing with
right,
him.
because he was asking me for pictures. And I'm like, well, you see my profile picture. Well, you could be a catfish. You can't. So could you. Like, don't do that. You approach the person and you're looking at that person saying, oh, I think she's beautiful or she's attractive. Let me talk to her. Don't be sitting here begging for pictures. Because it's like, okay, well, what is that picture going to do? Because I can give you pictures that look like me, that look like somebody else. That does not necessarily mean that that's me in person. Mm-hmm. So I went ahead. I was like, I'll give you one picture, but you also got to send me one. I got pictures that were not consistent. They did not look the same at all. It was like pictures to the side, pictures to the back. You sent me a picture of the back of your head. Like, I don't want to see your hair. Like, granted, okay.
Yeah, there were literally like zero. There were no eyes in that picture. It was just
a back of the head because he's growing out his dreads. And I'm like, I ain't asked for it. Okay, whatever. I mean, I have long hair, but I'm not asking you for your hair. I don't care. You can be bald, you can be whatever. But
right.
Just take care of yourself.
Right.
So it came about that. And I'm like, well, you know, I'm getting pictures of you in angles, but I'm showing you face. I'm giving you this. So you can see that my pictures are consistent. It didn't. He sent me one of him like showing his bicep. Baby, I don't care about your muscle.
At least he didn't go below the belt. Ugh, I hate
the head pictures. Was enough.
Nah, I hate those below the belt pictures. Don't send those. I don't want
those. Your tool. Don't show me your tool.
Yeah.
Don't want to see that right now.
Keep the screwdriver at home.
Yeah, definitely. We don't want to see that right now. So
I'm like, at least he sent some pictures of his facial region.
Of somebody.
Or someone's facial region.
It wasn't him.
Yeah.
And it just got to a point where it was like, okay, now we're arguing back and forth about pictures. And then he was like, well, send me your number. Send you my number? There's no connection here, buddy. We're not equally yoked. And I was, oh, no, that was before. I'm sorry, that was after. He pretty much told me that I needed to let go of all of my male friends. Relationship.
Yeah.
Sorry? I'm sorry. I can't talk to anybody. So I said, well, then you must going to be letting go of all of your female friends, because then
compromise.
And he looked and said, oh, you're tripping.
I don't know why they think they have different rules for them. Like, we were all born the same way. I don't understand.
And I literally told you I believe in things that are equal.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me that I can't have male friends. And in my 41 years of life, you're trying to tell me that I can't have friends of the opposite sex, but you can have friends of the opposite sex.
Weird. Double standards. That's a red flag.
And I don't live for
double standards or red flags.
That is definitely, you are not being drafted.
Yeah.
So then that's when the phone number comes about. And I'm like, I'm not giving you my number. Like, no, that there's nothing right there. And then of course the argument comes back. Oh, you're difficult. Oh, you're not wanting to compromise, and this is what I'm asking of you. And I'm like, but do you not understand that there's nothing compatible between us other than the fact that we both like sports?
Right.
That's it.
Right.
We don't share the same values. Yes, we do believe that. He asked me the question about who is the head of the house. And I said, well, it's God and then me. Because it's literally me by myself. So he goes around and says, no, the man needs to be first. It should be God, then man, then wife. And I'm like, oh no. No. Now if I'm in a serious relationship, then yes, there's gonna be that. But I just still feel like it needs to be both us on the same wavelength. There needs to be some form of equalness, that we both matter.
I think even asking that question though is like kind of like a red flag thing. Yeah. I mean, I don't think I've ever asked someone like who should be head of household. I think that in itself, asking the question, is already showing his intentions of where he thinks he lies.
Right. Now there are some things that I can't do as a woman that a man can do.
Yeah.
And there's things that men can't do that women can do.
Yeah.
So there's certain things that I don't feel it needs to be in competition. Like, oh, well, I'm the man, hear me roar, right. You're down here, the things like that. Because I'm bringing something that could be totally different than what you're bringing. But I still feel like we need to be on some same level field. And yes, if it gets to that point where it is serious, then yes, I'm gonna put my man on a high standard.
Sure.
But I also want him to put me on a high standard.
Right.
So don't think you coming into something brand spanking new and you're gonna be trying to tell me how I need to eat, sleep, live, dress, and all that. I've dealt with chauvinistic men before, and it did not get them nowhere. It got their feelings hurt because I'm not that one to fuck with.
Right.
So don't come in my life trying to disrupt what I got going on, trying to tell me what I need to do, and we're both adults.
Right.
That's not how that works. I'm not you're not going to control me.
Yeah, that's probably a form of control is what it really is.
Yeah. And it's like, no, that's not how a relationship needs to be. So needless to say, that was the end of that conversation.
The only question I think I've asked on that front is like, as far as like breadwinner, just because I have had a situation where men feel differently if I'm, for example, making more money than them, how that makes them feel. And most of the time they actually don't like it. So that's the question I ask. I never ask the household thing, but I do ask like the financial thing.
I think because so many opinions about how women are being looked at now from the political standpoint of, should women have the right to vote? Should women talk about women's bodies and how things need to be? It's huge. You really have to ask that because you really just want to make sure that you're being respected as a person. And not in alignment. As all I'm good for is to have sex with.
You're not an oven.
I don't go open, boom, and get hot and then
you
ready.
Turn me to 350 and turn me on. It doesn't work like
Literally not Little Caesar's pizza, not hot and ready.
No.
Like, that's just, I feel like it's too much. And it's mainly men that always talk about women.
Yeah.
It's never us talking about what we want. Well,
we know that's what this whole podcast is about, but still,
I'm a scale back on that because some people might say, "Nah, y'all do talk about us," but I feel like a lot of times when men say that we like to demasculate them, it's them doing the same thing to us.
Yeah,
they womanize us. So it's just like, we can agree to disagree.
Yeah.
We can have things that you may like to do. There's things that I might like to do. That
equal partnership.
but I do feel like, it's never going to be 50-50. But I don't want it to be 90-10.
Mm-hmm.
We can be 60-40.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to be where it's mostly you feeling like you can rah, 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 and then I'm sitting there having to take it, and I got the bobblehead syndrome.
Right.
I don't want that. Like, no, you're not gonna just boom in my head go. But
even vice versa. Like, I would feel really guilty if I felt like I was giving the 10 and he was doing the 90. Like, just as a person, I would feel bad that I'm making this person do that much stuff for me.
Yes. And I see a lot of relationships where it's a lot of times the guy is doing a lot more than what the woman is doing, and then it's vice versa. But you can literally see that it drains that person.
Yeah.
Because it's annoying. It's embarrassing, especially when you're out in public and you see that guys are having temper tantrums or women having temper tantrums.
Right.
Over the smallest and dumbest stuff. So,
making a scene in public, red flag.
Right. So that is one of the stories that I've encountered this year. I have another one, but we'll do that for another time.
We'll save it for a different week.
Yes.
But I think that's a good ending point for today, as far as our discussion on flags, sports related, dating related, and everything in between.
Yes. Comment down below, what are your red, green, and yellow flags? We want to hear from y'all and see exactly what it is that you guys have to deal with, because it could be something similar to us, or it could be completely different.
But or even stories that you might have that you've encountered with people. What do you think about the whole 50-50 balance? Let us know your thoughts. You know, we like to talk all day, but we also want to hear what you all have to say too.
Yes.
So
until next time
on Bitchin' Bout Balls, have a wonderful week like always, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.